All right. Do you have salespeople join your organization and it looks like they just came to collect or to be paid a salary for 3 months or maybe 6 months, and after that, for some reason, you have to tell them to go because of non-performance? If you've been experiencing that, it could be for the reason I'm going to show you today, and I'm going to show you how to avert it, because it's going to be a continuation from our discussion yesterday. My name is Iyore, trained over 25,000 salespeople across 5 countries: Nigeria, Ghana, USA, UAE, Rwanda. I worked in an organization where I was able to grow my portfolio by over 100% in just 11 months. I also was given a target to sell to 20 HNIs, and I was able to bring in 21 HNIs in a single month. I am CEO for Advantage, and our specialties in Salesforce management, where we help organizations optimize results and get sales results in record time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we started talking about the importance of onboarding. We looked at how long should the proper onboarding program be, and I told you that you can decide to choose for yourself how long you want to spend on onboarding. I would recommend a minimum of 60 to 90 days, exactly. So we said for at least 2 months to the maximum of maybe 3 months, right? 2 to 3 months for the onboarding program. So you can decide which you want. However, whatever it is you decide, make sure these things are going to be in that onboarding program. And for yesterday, we emphasized on the importance of driving home the vision and mission statements, making sure that the products and service of the business, it's known by the salespeople. And we explained how to do that yesterday. Now, today, we're going to look at the next step, which is your sales process and methodology training. Show them how to use the sales process. Show them how to apply the methodology that is unique to your brand or unique to your organization. Now, when we say sales process training, there's a sales process to every engagement. When you sell, you move from it depends on what you want, but this is what we always recommend. You move from prospecting to building rapport to qualifying to identifying needs to preferring solutions, handling objections, closing the sale, then maybe getting referrals. Now, for a lot of people, they may not really have a sales process to use like this, and it's important that a sales process is used in your organization. Now, don't assume and say things like, the person I've hired, they've sold before, they will know how to sell here. If you're thinking that way, it's because maybe you are not a salesperson. Because you understand that a salesperson must understand and use a methodology. There is no way you can assume that because somebody sold somewhere, the person will sell for you. It's a wrong assumption. The way you can be sure that they will sell for you, whether they sold somewhere or not, is that can they run and apply your sales methodology? And that's why this sales methodology is not something you leave to chance. You don't allow people use their discretion. You set it up and make sure that people use it like a script. They follow a process. At the beginning of trying to implement a sales process, discretion is not allowed. Everybody must be able to follow the laid down agenda and style you're using to sell in your organization. In the art of war, there's a saying that the team that is most animated across its ranks is the team that wins. This means that the team that's saying the same thing, the same way, for the same period, gets the same results. So how animated is your team? If we meet a salesperson from your organization, can we say that this salesperson is from your organization because of their sales process, because of how they sell? When do you send proposals? How do you use flyers? There are many things you have to look at to be able to make sure that you implement a sales process that would be able to work. At what point do you do a demo or a presentation? At what point do you start to communicate value? What are the standard questions you ask when you go for a sales meeting? What are the standard questions you use to qualify? Who are the decision makers in most of your businesses? How do we track them? How do we find them? These things are key. And there should be a document that guides and helps people understand the sales process. Now, when part of how you pass this message of sales process, apart from documentation and writing, is that you want to also make sure it's demonstrated. Get experienced people in the company come in for the onboarding and demonstrate what the sales process looks like so that people can have a vision of where you're taking them to. The next step is your sales tools and software training. Now, if you sell without tools, what's going to happen is that a time will come where you'll be pouring a lot of opportunities into a basket and you'll be leaking from everywhere. The purpose of tools and software is for tracking. Is to make sure that when leads come, they enter your funnel and they close. They don't come and they leave. You don't know where they are. It also brings about business continuity. You don't want a case where somebody has resigned. And because the person has resigned, all the contacts and all the leads they brought into your company, all the clients, they take them with them to another organization. You don't want that to happen. So what you want to do is that make it possible. See, when you hire somebody and the person signs your offer letter, One of the things they've agreed to do is the fact that all the clients that they have now belong to you. That's part of what they're signing. So when you bring people to your business or bring people to your organization, you want to ensure that you use a CRM where all these things are documented. If someone says, okay, but we can't afford to use a CRM for now, even if it's an Excel sheet, just make sure that it is properly documented. And you can track and monitor to be able to see all the progress of every transaction. Do you know that in some of our clients, when we go for meetings, maybe monthly performance reviews, we actually have cases where we open the CRM, and from the CRM, we can see what everybody has been doing. From the first column on the CRM, we see, okay, how many people do you have? How many meetings did you have this week? We see it on the CRM. Because if your meetings are too few, the sales will be too few. If you don't have more engagements, the results will not show. So we'll look at how many meetings have you had. Okay, how do you determine if this is the list of people who are qualified? How many have been qualified? How many have you done presentations to? How many have you given offer letters to? How many have made a commitment? You see, so you can track and monitor across various levels of the CRM to be able to know where your leads are. So that at least in a week you can look at, okay, how many people are on the final stage of the sales process? Wow, thank God, we have about 20 people in the final stage of the sales process. Then that means that at least you should expect like 15 to 18 to close that week. But if you don't have something like that to track, you'll just be guessing and hoping that sales will come in. And before long, you have people working with you for 3 months, 6 months, no business will have come into your organization, and you have to let them go. And it will be a great loss to you and a benefit to the other person because they are taking salaries and going to use your money to start up other businesses. Tomorrow, we're going to continue and we're going to look at areas around role-playing, shadowing, sales metrics, coaching as business continuity. But please use this for now. I hope this has blessed you today. Please remember to be logging on time tomorrow to join us for tomorrow's session. All right, please watch this next video. It's going to be a great blessing to you. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. I look forward to seeing you in this next video.